Welcome to the Wild West of the law, the Magistrates' Court, where almost 95% of all criminal cases are decided. If you think the English legal system is all mahogany benches and white horseshoe wigs, think again. The Magistrates' Court is nothing like the movies. Here's the first secret. The magistrates are lay people. They are not legally qualified professionals in a sense, i.e. they aren't even lawyers. They are lay people who do this as a hobby, you could say, local volunteers. You aren't necessarily entrusting your liberty to a jury of your peers, but often what feels like the admissions board to a 1980s country club. No hate, but they have no formal legal training and rely entirely on a legal advisor to tell them what the law is. Because the system is so underfunded, it's less about justice and more about getting numbers through the door. It's an assembly line. There's actually an interesting story in the Secret Barrister books about a prosecutor struggling to even get into the courtroom because they are buried under files, only to be pushed aside from a man from British Gas who gets priority just to apply for warrants to disconnect people's energy supplies. That is the hierarchy. Administrative efficiency first, justice somewhat later. The environment isn't that much better either. You aren't in a grand cathedral of law, you're usually in a cramped room with peeling paint and a broken coffee machine. Trials are swapped between rooms at the last second, and solicitors are often given mere minutes to read files they've never seen before because the previous lawyer collapsed from the workload. The book calls it roulette framed as justice. If a case goes the right way, it's often down to pure luck rather than the system working as intended. We've moved from a criminal justice system to simply a criminal system, and until you're the one quivering outside that courtroom door, you will never realise how broken it really is. Next time you see a court scene that's weird on TV, remember that the reality is much weirder and much more Wild West. Follow for part 3.